Hey everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are three brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am your host, Nick. Below me is my brother, Josh. Josh, say hello to the people.
Why, hello everyone. How are we doing today?
Thanks. Thanks for asking, Josh. I'm doing good.
He said below me.
And then to my left is Jake. Jake, welcome back from your sickness.
Yeah. Welcome back. It's good to be back. I had a cold and I didn't want to deal with anybody. So yeah.
Well, you still sound like poop, but we're glad to have you back. Everybody, we are doing 2020 Q2 today. We're also going to look at some of the Steam Next Fest demos. I think I played about 20 demos in the last 48 hours. I'm going to talk about a handful of them. We'll get to that at the end of the show. As always, we are a Trident Network podcast. Go check out our siblings. They're awesome. This is usually the part of the show where I ask you to rate and review us wherever you get your podcast. I'm not going to do that anymore. In fact, I'm going to say, listen to us wherever you get your podcast. And then, fuck the algorithm. Tell a friend. The computers, they do not run this show. You do. Tell a fucking friend. Pass the word on. What do you guys think of that? I was workshopping that the other day, and I really liked it.
It was straight to the point, and yeah, we're canceled now.
I always hated begging for kind words and 5 stars. Just tell a friend. Do a solid. Tell a friend. If you enjoy the show, why not? Why not spread the word?
Or if not, just tell them about this shitty show so they can listen to it for themselves.
Or tell your enemies like, hey, this show is really good, and then the enemy comes here and listens to it. Like, oh my god, that show sucked so bad. Why would they recommend? Oh, they hate me. That's why. That's why they recommend.
We're now the fuck you show.
We're the fuck you tell your enemies show. Waste their time. Waste their fucking time. Before we get into 2020 Q2, what has everybody been playing? Jake, you've been gone for a little bit. What you got going on?
So TFT Set 9 launched last week, and I've been playing it all day, every day. And I'm glad this game is not only on the PC, but it's also on my tablet and my phone when I'm not on my PC. Set 9, this is Set 9. It's themed as Runeterra Reforged. Basically taking themes and nations, countries that are in Runeterra into TFT. It's been pretty cool. Like they have countries like Ionia, Piltover, if you guys recognize Piltover from Arcane, Jean, Noxus, all that. So it's pretty cool. It's been addicting. I think I have almost 200 games in, and the set came out last week.
Jesus. By set, is that basically a season pass?
Yeah, pretty much. Like the sets last for like 3 months, and then they started doing half sets. So like they'll take they'll make a little changes to the set. So it'll be like like last set was 8.5. They didn't start doing that till set 4. Or I think it was set 3 to start doing it. But yeah, so this is set 9. It's gonna be 3 months. They'll have a tournament, and then set 9.5, and then 3 months, another tournament, new set, all that stuff.
Would you say Teamfight Tactics is your main game right now? I know you go through spurts.
Yes, it is actually my main game because I announced retirement from competitive Brawlhalla.
Are they gonna hang your jersey from the rafters?
Yes.
No, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it Hell's Kitchen style. They're just gonna hang it on a hook.
They're gonna roast me, man.
They're gonna pull it up, but Jake's still wearing it. And Jake's like, guys, and they don't fucking care. They're just
So
wrapping
it's Dead
him
by
up.
Daylight, basically.
Let me go.
Like this game, I'm actually better at this game than I ever was in Brawlhalla. So, yeah.
But Jake, remember, be humble about your beginnings. Like it got
Oh
you to where
yeah,
you're at.
I know. There'll always be a place in my heart. But yeah.
Yeah, you can't turn your back on the PGA and go and make all that money and live. Well, actually, you can, because then the PGA just buys you up. Anything else on the game side, Jake?
That's about it.
All right, Josh. I'm gonna throw it over to you next. I feel like I haven't gone last in a while.
That's fine. Yeah. So of course I'm still dabbling in Tears of the Kingdom. Still enjoying it. Star Rail, of course, is still up there. I do my daily grind. So I picked up Crisis Core Reunion, the PSP remaster onto the PS5. enjoying that so far. I honestly, I have to look and see what the differences are because I'm playing this and like, man, I don't remember Crisis Core as far as like gameplay 100%, but it feels better on the a PS5 controller than it did on the PSP for sure.
Does it
So
feel like a mobile game on the PS5? Does it
No.
feel like, yep, I'm playing a mobile game?
No. It actually feels like an actual true game on the PS5. And I don't know if it's just because they updated graphics and engine, or if it's because they tweaked it just enough to not make it feel like a PSP game. I'm enjoying it so far either way.
I'm sorry, I can't
Matt,
get over that you said twinked it.
goddamn.
But it's fitting. It's Final Fantasy. It's fitting. It's Final Fantasy VII. It works. It works.
Our brother Matt got me back into Battlefield 2042.
I saw this. I saw
s-
you popped. I was sitting on my computer and Steam popped up. Hey, Josh is playing Battlefield 2042, and I sat there and shook my head. I was like, what's he doing?
I sold out. I know. I sold out. But in my defense,
yeah.
I've been playing with Mikey and Matt and their friend Billy. I've been enjoying every moment of it so far. Like it's actually a bit like with them. But by myself, I'd be like, fuck this. But with them, I'm like, God damn it, I'm actually kind of enjoying this right now.
Yeah, trust me. When I saw Matt playing it, I'm like, man, that sounds fun right now. And I looked it up on CD Keys. I was like, I'm not paying $60 for it, but I think you can find it for like $25.
I found it on, I think it's Green Man Gaming for 26. And I think that's the one that gives you like the passes and stuff if they have that still. I don't know. I think I read that version because they decided, oh, we sold you a really shitty game at first. Yeah, everything's free now.
Even the worst game can be carried by the fact that you're playing it with a bunch of people that you know, and
True,
it makes
but
it much better.
How many games do you know come out that were really shitty, and then a year into its life are actually has more people playing it now than it did, 2 months into it being alive?
That seems to be pretty normal at this point, Josh. It seems to be what everybody does.
No one fucking asked you, okay?
You
And
just
no one
asked me.
Fuck you. Anyway, one thing I didn't bring up on here, and it's because I didn't think about putting it on here because it's demo, and I think it technically was a part of the fest. But I'm gonna say it now anyway. I played the Final Fantasy 16 demo, loved it so much that night I set in my pre-order and I have it literally ready to go. So when we're done with this recording, I can play it.
I might hang out and watch you play that for a little bit while I edit this episode.
I will make sure to hook up my stuff so that you can actually see it.
It's on your PlayStation, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll make my capture card and stuff. I haven't
Gotcha.
set all that up, but I'll make sure I get it set up just so you can watch.
I do want to ask how far you mentioned you're still playing Tears of the Kingdom. I've fallen off and just need to set some time up for myself to play it. How far are you? How many bosses have you beaten?
I have not even gone after any bosses. I mainly just my problem is I like to do all the side stuff first as much as I can. So I'm mainly going through all the trials. That's my main objective: the trials and exploring.
You have Zelda ADD. I'm going. Oh, what was that over there?
Yes, and that's what I did. Tears of the Kingdom, and yes, I am aware, but at the same time, that. Unfortunately, that's how I play games. Is I do all the side shit first. Make myself OP. So basically, when I go through the main story stuff, I'm unstoppable. Nothing can literally stop me. Literally.
How many hearts do you have?
I have 9 hearts now.
Okay, I still only have 4, so I'm way behind you.
Yeah, I have the main overworld completely discovered. I'm just going back now and knocking out any trials that I didn't do, and I have over half of the underground. I forget what that's called again.
Oh, it's just such a big game. I have.
It is. It is a very. I mean, it's so big, and you don't realize it until you're like. Honestly, I thought it was just the overworld. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," and then when I found out there was the underground, I'm like, "Holy fuck! This is a very big game."
I think my main issue with Tears of the Kingdom, is that I have to play it on the Switch. First of all, just the button layout, like accidentally hitting and throwing stuff is annoying. Yep. Second of all, my hand cramps on that motherfucker no matter how I'm playing it.
Oh, you have the light, don't you?
No, I have the OLED.
Oh, why don't you stock it then?
Because I would have to play the puppy dog controller. I don't have one of the pro controllers.
I have a pro controller myself, and actually, I'm somewhere in my basement. I have a bigger controller, but it's a wired one.
It's behind your TV.
I might take you. It's hidden behind your TV.
You can't even do it. They're mounted to the walls.
You've dug like an extra hole behind that so you can pull the TV out. We know how mounts work.
I
Josh.
have this feeling if one day I disappear and you guys try to find me, you're gonna like come into my basement, look behind my wall. Somehow there's gonna magically be like a safe spot, and it's gonna have like all of my passports and shit, like my fake passports.
Josh, if
you're
you're
a spy,
if you're murdered and if you disappear, we're gonna look behind the TV first and find your body.
It's 100% accurate.
so Andy's gonna hide me behind
She knows.
the TVs.
She knows that's where you hide your purchases that you don't want her knowing about.
God damn it! There
Does
was
she-
one time.
Does she listen to this?
No, but there was one time.
She know. Hey, all it takes is one. A woman never forgets. Anything else on the
reminded
game
me.
side, Josh?
No, I'm honestly more excited to get this episode over with, so I can play some Final Fantasy. Honestly.
Josh hides his video games like a squirrel hides nuts.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Next week we got 2020 Part 3.
Nope. My turn. Let's see. My review for Street Fighter 6 is in with Game Chronicles. Love that game. It is a lot of fun. I really enjoy the World Tour mode. It is the overmap. You're running around, getting into fights. You can like challenge old ladies into fights. You can challenge just different people you walk past. Your masters are the different fighters in the game. The new fighters all fit right in. I didn't play 5, so like I couldn't. I knew Luke was from 5, but I otherwise like couldn't tell you for a little bit who was new. But like now that I've spent some time with the roster and know who the actual new people are to 6, they're all great. They're all amazing. No M. Bison, the new bad guy is JP. He's all right. He's like an old man wizard with a staff that does evil things. Kind of reminds me of Hahachi a little bit from the Tekken. It's a lot of fun. My brain has melted from this fighting game, but I've enjoyed it so much. I've played online. I'm only iron in the 2 characters that I'm ranked in, but it's one of those games where I'm having fun even if I'm getting my ass beat. Another random one that I picked up on sale was Trombone Champ. Have you guys heard of Trombone Champ?
No, that's the
I
game.
have.
Like,
I have heard this.
stuff like that is like, I'm not going near that. Come on, that's like taking a shower with your dad. Remember that game? You ever heard of that game?
I thought you meant like actually taking a shower with your dad. I was like, what the? Where's this going?
No.
No, so me and Gus, speaking of father-son time.
Oh jeez.
Jesus.
Speaking of father-son time, we were playing a lot of that bees game, like the point and click, find the bees on the paper, or find the bees on the painting. We got tired of it, so I downloaded this Trombone Champ, and he just likes listening to the trombone, like go up and down. He'll play it. I'm sorry, this is the worst episode
Speaking of
ever.
father-son time.
It's a fun little game. I got an S ranking on the warm up. I got A ranking on Happy Birthday. It's harder than I thought it was gonna be, but it's scratching that itch of, you know, when you really get into, when you back in the day when you really got into Rock Band or Guitar Hero, and like you would be like, okay, 1 or 2 songs and I'm gonna go play something else. You know what I mean? That is where I am with Trombone Champ right now. Even if Gus isn't here, I'll play with my. God damn it, we're moving on.
You did this.
We're moving on. I'm also
for the
playing
first time. Oh, right, sorry.
We're playing I'm playing Humanity. Have you guys heard of Humanity? This is the puzzle game where you're leading the people to the afterlife. You're a dog. You're like a dog spirit, and you bark to create arrows to create their path. You're collecting tall gold people. It's kind of like Lemmings from back in the day. It's a lot of fun. It's aesthetically like peaceful. It's a game I'm really enjoying. I think I'm in the second world, so things are starting to ramp up a little bit. You can make them change their direction. You can make them jump. You unlock additional things by collecting these gold people.
Old people, you say?
Excuse me. They're the special people, which is kind of weird. Kind of weird having special people that you need to bring to have additional collectibles, but whatever. You know what? Like, if you collect enough, it'll unlock cosmetics where all the people wear hats or all the people wear their winter clothes. You also unlock like additional ways to play the game. So by collecting gold people, I unlock the ability to pause in the middle of the game to check my stuff or to fast forward faster. Another thing I really like about it is after you set all your stuff up, if you feel like you kind of messed up somewhere in the middle, it'll let you it'll let you reset the level but keep all of your marks that you've created. So that's really cool. It kind of speeds things up instead of like, okay, I know what I need to do. I just have to redo all of this. So that's been a lot of fun. I've got a few hours in that. Hoping to, I think that might be my summer game. That and Tears of the Kingdom. And then the last game I've got right here, I played a lot of games, but the last non-demo game is The Last Spell. This is a turn-based game. I've got this, I think I've already said it, but I've got this one for review. This one, but before the show, I had you guys listen to the intro song. It's very heavy metal. The game is about a world where magic has gone amok, and you're part of this crew that's trying to set off this spell that will end magic in the world. But that's pissing everybody off, so you have hordes of undead and hordes of like evil creatures trying to stop you because they want to keep magic in the world. It's really gnarly. I've only played an hour of it. I still need to knock out a bunch more, but I've really enjoyed that hour. And I think I'm really going to like this, and I really think this is going to be a contender for Godiso. Hashtag Godiso. Jake, were you here for Godiso?
I don't even know what that is.
He was not here for Godiso, Nick.
Godiso is game of the year so far. Hashtag Godiso.
Nick's trying to make it a hashtag or make it a thing, and I keep telling him it's not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I'm glad me and Chick are on the same page. It's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen, Nick. I'm sorry.
But that's where I've been with games. Boys, what do you say we get into 2020 Q2?
Yeah, let's do it.
COVID.
Q2. I thought you said Kobe for a minute there. First up, April 3rd, Resident Evil 3 Remake came out. I was really upset that they cut the Gravedigger worm from this. Weren't you guys?
No,
I mean, I was
the
more...
clock tower, dude.
Yes, I think the bigger problem was the clock tower.
The clock tower and the worm were like one, because that worm, you fight it near the clock tower, don't you?
No, well, you fight it after. Spoiler alert for those who haven't played a remake of a game that was already, 15 years old.
It's 20-ish years old or something like that.
Well, it came out in
this one's
99. Anyway, besides the point. For those who aren't aware, after Carlos gets the vaccine for Jill because she becomes infected, you go to the park, which is where you finally fight Gravedigger for the last time. Technically, you can run into him one more time prior to that, but it's only during certain events if you do certain things.
I do like that this one opens with the Nemesis attack.
Yes.
I always felt like that original 3 just kind of opened up weird, like you're in a warehouse with a weird guy trying to get into a truck or trying to keep you out of a truck.
No, so what happens is Jill is trying to find safety because the outbreak is like at its peak.
Right.
And so she runs down an alleyway, finds the warehouse where she finds, I can't remember his name, what they called him. He's like, no, I just lost my daughter. Fuck you. He runs into the back of the truck, and then Jill's like, okay, fuck. I guess I'll grab keys and I'll get the fuck out of here.
But she also has a machine gun.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you did easy mode. If you did hard mode, you did not have the machine gun.
Oh, they're just like, fuck you, Joe. Go out there.
Yeah, well, the easy gun gives you, 100%. You can do all that stuff. Where in hard mode, you can find it. I think, if I remember correctly, you can find it later, but it has less ammo, and you only start with the pistol. And of course, 3 did something that none of the games at this point had done it, where they introduced the gunpowder. You can mix your gunpowders to make ammunition. But yeah, all in all, I think as far as remakes go, this is the most poorly received one so far. Everybody loved 2. 3 obviously was shit on, and then 4 I think did something a little better. I mean, it's still not what everybody wanted, but at the same time it was really good. I do agree with Nick, though. Starting with Nemesis attacking was fantastic. However, they do Brad so dirty here.
I haven't played the remake. I've only seen the opening. I do know, I did know that they got rid of Gravedigger. The one thing that I really liked about the original 3 was that everything felt like it was it always felt like you were stumbling upon secrets and discovering these things in the city. And I don't know, 3 has always been weird in my mind because, for those who don't know, the first part of 3 takes place before 2, and then the second part of 3 takes place after 2. So it's a really weird timeline.
It's not after 2, it's just at the same time as 2.
It's set at the same time as 2, but the original, the way it's split up before Jill goes unconscious is
it's the day before.
Right. And then after she's unconscious, it's taking place right around the same time as 2.
Right.
So it's, I don't know, 3's always been weird, but I've kind of always had a softer place for 3, even though I know 2 is better in my heart.
The only memory I have of 3 that like pisses me off more than anything is our old copy of 3. Once you fought Nemesis at the clock tower and Joe becomes infected, it always black screened and we can never get past it.
We had a bad copy of 3. That's true. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remembered about it as a kid. As an adult, I've played it and beaten it, and I'm like, man, it's such a real. I mean, honestly, it was such a great game, and I don't think 3 is that terrible. The remake, there's the things they could have done better, for sure. But all in all, I think for what it is, you've got to give it respect. Like, yes, it's not as open as 2. It never was, though. It's more linear than 2. 2, especially in the speedrunning community and the modding community, there's so much you can do with the remake and the original. With 3, it was always linear because it had to be broken off in sections.
So is the team that did the 3 remake doing the 5 remake next? Are you giving is Capcom giving that team the lesser numbered games and like saying also, but at the same time saying fuck you, Code Veronica, we don't care?
Well, so they had a poll, and on their poll, Code Veronica was the number 1 picked.
Dude, if they remake that, that's gonna be bonkers because that'll base. Here's my thing about Code Veronica. I don't think nearly as many people played it as people think. And so that coming out as a remake is basically going to be a brand new game for a lot of people.
And honestly, have you guys played it and beaten it?
No.
I've played it, haven't beaten it.
Okay, so I've played it and beaten it. It's definitely a different Resident Evil. I mean, it's still Resident Evil. You still have this, everything you loved. You have Claire. She's back as the main character. Chris gets invited. You get Steve and get introduced to him. And Steve's the most annoying fucking side character you could ever meet, in my opinion.
Steve?
Father! Yeah. So that's Steve. It has one of the more weirder villains, and we also get introduced to the Wesker that everybody knows and loves, where you find out that he's alive and he's genetically changed.
I think the Ashfords are really cool. I think that's something that has been downplayed across these remakes is the founding members of Umbrella. Because I really always liked Marcus, I forget his last name, from the Resident Evil 0 and like his origin story, even though it completely fucks up everything they built. Just having those 3 founders and like having them at war with each other and basically that starting everything. And them kind of using Wesker and what's the main bad guys from 2's name? With the wife, Birkins.
Birkins.
Basically having Wesker and Birkins carry this stuff out for them. I love it. I
mean, all in all, I think with the remakes, they're definitely doing things right. They're making the story more fluent. And I would love to see more. Like, I don't know if you guys read some of the books that they made.
Did not.
There is one called, I think it's called Columbine Cove.
Oh, lovely.
What a peculiar name.
I think that's what it's called. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. Basically, it's like what's happening in between 1 and 2, where you follow all the STARS members who survived the mansion incident. So Barry, Chris, Rebecca, Jill. They basically are like trying to find help, and they realize that the police aren't going to help them. They know that Irons is kind of crooked, and they actually are being hunted by mercenaries hired by Umbrella. And so the whole idea is they get they get STARS to help them to an extent. So they get like a bunch of side people from STARS to go with Rebecca to one of the closer research facilities of Umbrella, and you find out that they're also rampant with the virus.
See, now that's cool. I would like that Welcome to Raccoon City, which apparently is getting a sequel for some reason. I wish it would have focused more on the, like, instead of trying to get 1 and 2 in a movie like it did, focusing on that in between 1 and 2. 'Cause I feel like that's when the story is at its most interesting.
Oh, the books do a fantastic job explaining like what, like literally all we know before is, or in between the mansion incident and 2 and 3 technically, is apparently Jill, Chris, and Barry and Rebecca all left Raccoon City. Smart. Like, okay, why did they leave Raccoon City? Like, I'm confused. Like, Raccoon City is supposed to be like the headquarters of Umbrella.
Still really
or
smart.
the U.S. branch.
Really smart to get out of there.
Well, I know it's really smart to get, but I'm saying, like, if you're going to investigate Umbrella, why did you leave Raccoon City?
Right. Well, they were probably, I mean, Code Veronica, they're looking for those other.
Well, Claire's looking for Chris still because
Claire's looking for Chris. I mean, they're leaving to go find the other parts of Umbrella. Because, yes, Umbrella is headquartered in
well, it's in
Raccoon
every
City.
country basically because it's
But-
a huge pharmaceutical company.
But after one, the mansion lab has exploded. So in my mind, if Umbrella's a smart company, like they're burying everything that they can. So like
Well,
that
they clearly
lab,
didn't because they got shut down.
I know, but that lab under the police station, there ain't gonna be nobody in there. They're like, all right, hey
It was
everybody,
just-
we got to go somewhere else.
Nobody.
It wasn't underneath the police
Ain't
station; it was
nobody.
underneath the city.
Yeah, it was underneath the city, but you get there from the police station.
Well, you go through the sewers and then you find it.
Yeah, because the police station was a gift from Umbrella, Josh.
The whole city was a gift from Umbrella. Practically.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But like, I feel like we're saying the same thing, Josh.
Oh, well, either way, we're getting sidetracked here. At this point, they're fixing everything. Yes, are they going to stumble? Yes, because I feel like we had after 2 remake, we had such high expectations for Resident Evil 3, and that's just, let's face it, the most notable antagonist in all Resident Evil franchise and Capcom franchise at this point is Nemesis.
And they've done him dirty every time they get a chance ever since that original 3. That movie where he looked like he was in a rubber suit.
Yep.
This.
The only good thing I will give them is Carlos. I think Carlos looks and acts so much better in this. He's not the, hey, all the ladies love my accent. And this he's taken more seriously, and it's like, yes, this is what we need.
The last
yeah.
time Nemesis was scary, I think he was in a Marvel vs. Capcom. He was also in, there was a PS2 game where you were an alien, and there was a Resident Evil 3 based level from Capcom. Forget what that game was called. Once I can think of it, I'll remind you guys. But it's the last time. Was it Under the Skin? It might have been something like that. But
Well,
you
he's
guys ready to
also in
move
Dead
on?
by Daylight.
Was he in Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, he's technically one of the killers.
Oh, Nemesis? Yeah,
forgot
he
about
is.
that.
Yep.
You were right, he was. All right, up next. April 10th, Final Fantasy VII Remake. We read it right this time.
You
God damn
guys
we
got
did
it right. You can read your Roman numerals.
We did it. We did it. I own this game. Actually, this might have been the first game I bought during quarantine, by the way. And I played it up to the point after the first reactor and then haven't touched it since.
You're missing so much.
It's fine. It's a fine game. I like that you can switch between characters in the middle of the fight. If you don't feel like playing Cloud. Am I remembering? I'm remembering that
Yeah.
right? Okay.
You can switch between characters, yeah.
I thought
There's
I was
some
taking-
points where I think there's some parts in the story where you're kind of forced to play as characters. Like, one point in the Underground, I'm pretty sure you have to play as Barrett.
I forgot Jesse's in. I forgot about Jesse.
Yeah, they're all in it.
Yeah, but they're in it a little longer, aren't they?
Yes, and actually, spoiler alert for now a 3-year-old game, for those who haven't played it, Wedge lives. Or is it Biggs?
I think it's Biggs. It's the bigger guy,
Whichever
right?
the fat one, yeah, whether the fat one is.
I think Biggs is
He-
actually the bigger guy.
Okay, I forget, I get it mixed up. He actually survives where we still lose Jesse in the other one.
Oh, that's sad.
Also, fun fact, and I know we said we weren't going to bring like terrible jokes into it. Can anybody guess what the first known mod for this game was?
Oh, was
probably-
it the tattoo thing on Cloud?
No.
It was probably something that got somebody naked or like made somebody prettier. It was either Barrett or Cloud that it got naked. Oh, is it the one that is it the obvious one?
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
Tifa?
No,
Eric?
Jesse.
Jesse. Okay.
It was a Jesse mod where she's naked, and then the one after that was I think Barrett or not Barrett, Cloud being naked.
Where for those who want to know, Josh, where can they find this on the internet?
So I think with Steam, you can basically Steam and Epic Games. There's a trainer for PS5 or PS4 when it came out. I don't know how people did it. I don't because that's where it first appeared. But I'm sure the equivalents for PC exist because let's face it, the internet is awful. When it comes to big titted girls, the internet is awful.
It is a terrible place. My favorite part of this game was being in Midgar and looking up at the ceiling. Always the coolest, right? Right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
I feel like you're looking at me like I'm taking crazy pills. Like nobody does that, Nick.
I
Nobody
know.
does
I
that.
just keep
Nobody
laughing
has
because
that.
every time I hear a naked mod, it cracks me up because the first thing people thought for the Resident Evil 4 remake for naked mod was a naked Leon.
That was the first thing I remember. I think I sent you a naked Leon GIF.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, that was me. I remember.
Yeah, I remember. I made the GIF.
But
that you
okay, so
sent
for
me.
those wondering, Josh, why should I fucking care about this remake? All this is gonna be a remake of every other game. It's just more modernized. No, that's what they want you to think. Not only is it more modernized, they've tweaked the story just enough to make you go, God damn it, I want the next one. I want to know what's going on.
I feel like the tweak is gonna kind of. I feel like they're Kingdom Heartsing Final Fantasy
Shut
VII
your
here.
fucking mouth right now.
I feel like they're Kingdom Hearting it, and I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that's
Kingdom
cool.
Heart my fist into your face.
Okay, but
I'm gonna lock that world. No Heartless are getting in that world.
but it's just I don't know. It just feels so overdone.
What do you? Okay, so I'm confused. What do you mean by it's overdone? Can you explain?
The meta commentary about keeping the timeline clean and everything having to be the same and
But that's not Kingdom Hearts.
eh, Kingdom Hearts.
And they
yes
kind of
and
have
no.
a time thing going.
No, they don't. The closest thing they had to it was the data world, and even then,
Kingdom Hearts is just. It's just.
it's convoluted. Yes, Kingdom Hearts is very convoluted, but you can thank Disney for that shit.
Kingdom Hearts does have the time thing, by the way, Josh, because I remember
Yeah.
Chain of Memories. Okay, I know they have the time.
Oh my.
stuff.
Okay, so the memory world or Castle Oblivion, basically the place that manipulates your memories, and then the data world for Dream Drop Distance.
The fact that you can just rattle this shit off your brain, off the top
You know
of
how
your
many
brain.
videos I had to
rattles me.
watch to actually understand and comprehend what's going on in Kingdom Hearts? I've watched a lot. Okay,
There's
I've
so
played
many,
a lot.
There's so many games they don't even know how to number them. They're like 2 out of 158 Kingdom Hearts.
Okay,
Whatever.
you're thinking 365 and a half days.
You had that ready. You had that in the chamber ready to go.
Okay, but still, my point is that is not what this is doing. It's not like, oh, the timeline must be the same. It's saying that fate can be changed. You have to be willing to change it.
Can I
But at the same time, we don't know why. Yes, Nick.
can I make a prediction?
Yes.
No.
So, we all know they're doing this timeline shit because they want to save Aerith. They want Aerith not to die. Like that
Yes.
was the big Final Fantasy VII sin that and changing her name from Aerith, but that's another thing. That's the big Final Fantasy VII sin. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to save Aerith. Tifa's going to die in her place.
I'm not against that as a fan theory being thrown in there.
Because I've always believed the Cloud Tifa relationship way more than the Cloud Aerith relationship.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Tifa and okay, spoiler alert again for those who haven't played a 3-year-old game.
We'll put a thing in the show notes.
Yes. So for you two, I hope this is not spoiling anything. At the end of one or the remake, basically we find out that Zack is still alive. He doesn't die to the Shinra army at the standoff when he's taking Cloud from the rebuilt Nibelheim to Midgar.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere in this world, Zack is, well, we don't know for sure he's 100% alive, but he survived that incident. So we know he's out there somewhere. But we don't know why Cloud has the Buster Sword, because that is technically his that he got from Angeal from Crisis Core. And we don't know what he's been doing up to this point, because obviously the whole theme of the original Final Fantasy VII is Cloud is reliving Zack's memories as his own because he suffered from Mako poisoning from when he fought him, Zack, and Tifa fought Sephiroth at Mount Nibelheim. So we don't know if he's still suffering from that. So we don't know if Cloud still thinks 100% that he's a first-class soldier. We don't know how Sephiroth was able to change fate. And we don't know how Cloud. I mean, we kind of figure out how we know Cloud survived the fight with Seth Roth at Mount Nibelheim, but now the timeline's changed so much and fate is changing. We don't know what exactly is going on, how everybody survived, whatnot, so on and so forth.
I know
There's
we're
too many
watching.
questions.
I know we're watching Cloud chase Sephiroth right now, but Sephiroth is way more in this than he was in the first act of the original Final Fantasy VII.
Correct.
Because
Yes, so
he didn't really pop up until the end when he kills the Shinra president.
Shinra.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So with this, he's affecting Cloud more, and it's mainly because he's somehow changed, or he's come to a realization at least that fate. The only way he can defeat fate is if him and Cloud join forces. Cloud doesn't want to do that because obviously he knows Sephiroth's bad, but we don't know how Sephiroth came a part of it or became aware of this, and how he's able to have manipulated it to the point where everybody can change fate, where Zack's still alive, where they still leave Midgar, where they actually tried to save I can't remember now off the top of my head if the president still died or not, but at one point you were actually saving the president and somehow fate tries to get involved and try to kill him.
I still give them big props. They still did the scene where Cloud does drag, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you can still win it.
I remember like up to the release, people were like, "Are they gonna do it? Is it gonna be in the game?" I have no idea.
Let's face it, that's one of the more fun parts of Disc 1.
I remember even as a kid, like being really creeped out by how the guy acted towards Cloud.
As a kid, I always thought it was like a rumor, like, oh, Cloud could win. And as an adult, I know it by heart now how to get him to win, at least in the original.
Josh is like, I know how to be sexy, goddammit.
I can tell you right off my head, not even looking right now, what you have to do.
All right, what do you have to do to win that? What's the proper name for it?
To win what's his name? That's not Dio. It's to win to become the wife of the mafia guy.
What do you got to do?
Of the underground. You ready for this?
Do it.
Okay, so you have to win in the gym. You have to win the squat situation to get the blonde wig. You have to bring antiseptic to the guy who's puking at the bar, or to the girls puking at the bar, and the guy goes in and is able to finally shit. He gives you perfume. You have to go into the materia shop to ask the guy asks you, the material shop owner asks you to do a favor for him. He tells you to go to the hotel and buy a certain thing from the vending machine. You have to spend 1,000 gil to be able to get the best item, and he gives you a diamond tiara. And then when you go to the shop, or the dress shop, to pick out your dress shop, you have to go to the bar to get the dad to come back to make dresses, and you have to ask for a silk dress that is, I believe it's shimmy, like shiny almost.
Keep going.
And then you have to go into the B club. You have to pick the question mark room, which is basically the room where you get all the big muscular guys to take a bath with you, and you get the bikini bottoms.
It sounds like a regular Tuesday.
And then you have to go into, I think that's it technically. I forgot the part where you have to actually go into the food place, pick the meal of the day. He gives you the ticket to go to the medicine shop. Go to the medicine shop, trade it in for the antiseptic, bring it to the guy.
Josh, you really, really wanted to win that contest.
Did I? Is that correct? Did you look it up?
No, I didn't.
No, but I'm sure you probably read it script from Game or Game FAQ.
He had it written down.
It's tattooed on my wrist.
Well, now that we know how to be the sexiest girl in Final Fantasy VII, we're going to move on. June 2nd, Valorant came out. Valorant is this the League guys? This is the League of Legends guys that put this out, right?
Yep, this is Riot's, some would say their Counter-Strike killer, which honestly...
I think at the time it was. Now that it's been out for a while and it's stood on its two legs for a hot minute, I don't think it's the CS:GO killer. I think it's the CS:GO competitor.
Yeah,
it for sure has
slowed down. It's slowed down for sure. I mean, I haven't really followed anything that they've done lately, but I remember when it came out. This came out around COVID times, obviously, and it was really popular. People were dropping their main game and going pro at Valorant because, well, they wanted to be the first.
This was the most streamed game for a while, right?
Yes.
For like periods of 2020 and 2021, I feel like. Maybe even like early 2022.
I would say for sure the rest, so all of 2020, or, so when it came out in 2020, all of 2021, it was for sure the most played game. I think it had outdone CSGO for a hot minute. But then I think CSGO kind of picked up, and even now, I think with their CSGO 2, basically, it's a faded memory. It's still good. It still has its following, but I just don't think it's ever going to go back to what it was.
Did all these characters have abilities, or are you just buying guns and abilities?
No, so all of them had their own abilities.
Yeah.
So the one you're seeing there, she creates smoke screens. There's a guy who creates basically ice walls. Someone who can use a radar basically for a certain area. Like each have their own special things, but you had a healer. Really, just think CS:GO meets
Overwatch?
Yeah, I would say.
It kind of feels like as a whole, hero shooters are kind of on their way out, or at least not in the golden age anymore.
Thank God. We had too many. Well, think about it. We had way too many. You had Overwatch. You have Valorant. You have Rainbow Six Siege.
Don't forget Battleborn.
Battleborn. Oh God, Battleborn. It didn't even last a month, right? It was basically a dead game on arrival.
Never. I think there was and people are going to call me an ignorant slut, but I think there was a lot of, I got fucked. I think there was a lot of bleed over between class shooters and hero shooters.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who loved Titanfall and Titanfall 2 a lot. Like, there was just so much. And then Call of Duty started to lean a little heavier on the class-based stuff instead of, the weapon stuff. Like, you still picked your weapons, but they had their different classes.
Battlefield got the late memo and decided to do it in 2042.
They're like, shit. Well, that goes back to a development thing where they just, hey, everyone's doing this. Hey, it's 2017. Everyone's doing this. And then by the time they get it out, the fad is come and gone. Or whatever the year timeline was.
Oh, yeah, it's... At this point, I agree with Jake. It's made its point. It came, it saw, it conquered, and now it's just there.
I mean, it's still got a community. It's still got people playing.
I think it will. I think it will until
it.
Valorant 2 comes out and shows that we don't need sequels for everything.
So Valorant 2 will not come out. I don't think they would do that. The next Riot game that they're working on right now is a fighting game.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're still doing that.
Project L, and you've seen demos out there, and it looks great. So I feel like Riot's taking over all the genres.
I mean, if it comes out this year, it's going to be a heavy year on the fighting game side with Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, maybe Tekken coming out.
I feel like if they're going to release Project L, it's probably going to be around the same time Arcane Season 2 comes out.
They'll definitely want to mix it up.
Multiverses might come back out, so it's the competition. The competition.
Fighting games, man. Back. Fighting games.
Dude,
Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6.
They took Scoob out back and they put one right behind the fucking skull, man.
Scoob, no.
Anything else on Valorant, boys?
No. It's all right. Play with your friends. I don't know.
Dead game?
No, it's not dead game.
No, it's not dead game.
It may not be breathing. That's why we go up to check on it, but it's still alive.
It's not dead in the crib. Dark episode. Next game, June 19th, The Last of Us Part 2. I can't believe that, hey, this game just turned 3 a few days ago. Last of Us Part 2 from Naughty Dog, and now we have a TV show for it. People hated this game, you guys. People really hated this game.
Which I don't... Okay, so... And that's why I don't understand the community. They, pump the shit out of 1. Even the remaster, I guess, technically, of it on the PS5. People hump the shit to the point where it's like, okay, we get it, guys. You love it. But then this came out, what they've been asking and begging for. They're like, oh, it was awful. And it's like, okay, make up your mind.
I think this was better than the first one. I might be alone in that feeling, but I really, really, really enjoyed 2. For those who don't know, Last of Us series, third-person action horror game.
Zombies,
yes, mushroom zombies. This one features Ellie, the little girl from the first one, a lot more. Spoilers again. We're just putting spoilers all over the show. I'm sorry. Joel dies within the first few hours of this game. He is murdered by Abby, who is the daughter of the doctor that Joel kills to save Ellie at the end of the first game. Yeah, and people did not like that. I think part of it was that the game was advertised heavily on Joel. That
Yeah.
Joel was there. And to be fair, the game bounces back. Like the game does some time hops that like bring him back for a little bit. Like there's a scene where Ellie and Joel go to a NASA museum and get into a rocket and like pretend they're shooting off into space, and it's like this really cool moment about living. It's a really cool moment about living in the moment and not like fretting the world falling down around you. Oh, that girl just scared the hell out of me right there. But really, like what this game does, first of all, there's a portion of this game where you're going to avenge Joel and you end up in Seattle. And the game goes open world for a cool hour and a half where you're looking for things to do. Like there's a guitar solo that you can play that you can completely miss in this playthrough. You basically spend 3 days in Seattle trying to avenge Joel. Then the game flips you on your head, takes you back to day one, and you're playing as Abby and seeing everything going on from her side. And I don't think people like that because also Abby was really muscular, and people I guess don't like muscular girls, I guess. I don't know.
In video games, yeah.
Well, we're also getting to the point where they started to show stuff for Horizon Forbidden West. Oh, girls don't have facial hair.
What's her name in Horizon? I've never played that.
Aloy.
I think Aloy looks great.
Well, okay,
Just facial
so for the people who are to the guy who specifically tweeted it out, and it cracks me up because he's like, girls don't have facial hair. It's like, look, everybody has facial hair, dude. Like that's that.
Have you never spent time with your grandmother? Girls have facial hair, goddammit.
Like that no, that's a thing. Clearly, you've never been with a woman. Clearly,
Chill.
stay in your mother's basement. Stick
Touch
to what you know.
grass. Touch grass.
People getting upset at this game plays really good. I remember at one point there's so much coverage on this game, by the way. This was like it was like the coming of Jesus in gaming for a while.
No, like people were just like losing their, like in a good way. It was like there was just so much buzz, so much coverage on it. I was like, man, this is a really big game. But then I remember just people just started shitting on it, and it's like, guys, this is what you wanted.
It's such a good game, and I really think Naughty Dog needs to knock it off with the Last of Us multiplayer they've been working on.
Oh, they dropped it. I think they dropped it.
I heard that they were like backpedaling a little bit, but I didn't hear that they completely dropped it. It sounds like it was like going to be a live game service type thing, and now Sony has like Bungie coming in and consulting all their other studios and stuff like that. Like they have Bungie coming in to be like, maybe don't do this, maybe don't do that, and I think that's what probably happened.
Oh, they're gonna make mistakes because Bungie right now, people are just shitting on them.
You know what? Marathon's gonna be great, but let me get back to The Last of Us real quick because, like I said, that open world portion is great. There's a portion where you're playing as Abby in a hospital looking for some medicine for one of the boys. There's also what's their name? Lev, a transgender character that people were openly upset about. People just wanted to shit on this game for everything that they could. It does. Last of Us 2 does what I think all great sequels do, and it introduces characters that people are not going to like. If you look back, Metal Gear Solid 2, everybody hated Raiden, everyone hated him, and now look at him. He's like a fan favorite. He's a ninja cyborg. People love him. And if you go back to 2, like he's a great character for what 2 was trying to do. Halo 2, everyone hated the Arbiter. Like, let me play Chief. And now people like the Arbiter. I think you're gonna see the same thing with 5. People hated Locke because you played Locke so much and didn't play Chief. I think people will turn around and come back around to Locke. This game, people hate Abby. I love Abby. I think she's a great character. I really enjoyed her. I really enjoyed like the back and forth between her and Ellie. It's a story about like how far would you go for revenge? Like, should you really keep going? We could do a 3-hour episode on this game, but I refuse. Alan Wake. I think Alan Wake is going to do something like that. Alan Wake 2 has Saga, the FBI agent that people are kind of like. You hear rumblings. you hear rumblings on Twitter where people are like, this game's going woke. And it's like, what the fuck? She's an FBI agent. What the fuck is wrong? Calm the fuck down. But anytime I see a sequel that has like a new character, I kind of get excited because I think back to all those games that I mentioned, and I think back to how much of a shit show it was, but how now we look back and people love those characters and people really think that sequel went places. And I think that's what the case here is for The Last of Us 2. Excited for 3 when it eventually comes out, if it ever comes out. They're probably more focused on the show right now more than anything, though. But with the WGA strike, who knows when that'll come out.
I mean, there's always going to be a group of gamers that just hate something. I mean, like, for example, TFT, their testing server that they had before the set came out had issues. And the developer actually brought it up the other day in a tweet saying that he got death threats and all this stuff. Like, guys, it's a test server. Like, calm down. Go touch grass, go play a different game. Like, relax. It's not the end of the world.
I don't know. I feel like the internet should be able should have a setting where if it detects that you've made a death threat, it shuts down for an hour and just completely bans you off the internet.
I was thinking more like I was thinking more like it gives your location away. Like, dude, you want to talk big? Let's see if you can act big.
All right. Hey, we're sending a big motherfucker over to fight you right now, tough guy. I could talk about Last of Us 2 forever. I might make that our book club game in the future. By the way, boys, we still need to get on our book club shit. We still got time, but Jake, did you download our book club game? Do you remember what it was?
I do remember what it was.
That's even better, you son of a bitch. I bought it for you.
It's just sitting there.
you at least accepted the code, right?
Yeah, I have it. It's in my library. Not installed though.
So we're gonna get that going here soon. I think the mindset was probably waiting until we finished, got caught up to the current year, or at least waited until after Game of the Year in a few weeks. Game of the Year so far in a few weeks. It's a weird sentence. Josh, you ready to do some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
April 17th. Video game-centric crowdfunding and investment firm Fig was acquired by Republic, a larger investment firm, to expand Fig's capabilities for funding options. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Now it's gone.
As of May 23rd this year, right?
I think so. Anytime I hear about any of these backer websites, I'm just like, just do it on Kickstarter. I'm a full believer in, oh hey, this all shouldn't go through one thing, but just do it through Kickstarter. I'm not trying. I recently funded a friend's short film on, was it Spark and Seed? And I remember rolling my eyes when I saw that it was on Spark and Seed. I'm still gonna support that friend and donate, but also Spark and Seed, this is not going to be here in a year.
What the fuck is it? I don't even think I've ever heard of Spark and Seed.
I think it might be something for film. I don't know. I didn't read into it. I was just here's the money. Do Kickstarter
I'm looking
next
into
time.
why not Why not something everybody can know? If I saw Spark and Seed, I'd be like, this fucking seems like you're trolling me. I'm ready for to be rickrolled or to get malware on my computer.
Is this an OnlyFans competitor?
Yes.
Hey, no one can compete with OnlyFans, okay?
Come check out my Spark and Seed.
AUM. May 22nd, Bandai Namco officially celebrated the 40th anniversary of Pac-Man. Happy birthday, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
That motherfucker
fat
always be eating.
Fuck.
Always be eating.
Hey, he's hungry.
Let's hear your best Pac-Man impression.
Are we talking when there's no pellets, when there is pellets?
When you're about to gobble up that ghost, man.
Waka 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 waka.
That's it.
I'm not.
Josh, you don't have to. I just want to see who's dumb enough to do it.
Do it,
I want
chicken
Nixon
shit.
to be dumb enough to do it. I'm not doing it.
Do it, chicken shit.
Waka 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 waka.
Wah, 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 wah. All right.
June 11th, Sony Interactive Entertainment held its PS5 The Future of Gaming event, where it unveiled the PS5 design and several new and upcoming games.
Giant router.
PlayStation 5, man, it was just a weird announcement. I don't know why they didn't just hold off on releasing everything for another year.
Yeah, so for those who somehow slept under a rock or didn't hear about any of it, by the time the PS5 and Xbox Series S and X came out, there was a chip shortage. So between those consoles and graphics cards, because I think at this point it was the 3000 series, so 3060s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Well, this crypto craze was going on too around this
Yep.
time, I believe.
Yeah, crypto craze is going on too. So basically everything you'd want from a new graphics card to the newest, latest consoles, if you were lucky to find it in a public place, you got it. Otherwise, you were being scalped the hell out of or having to wait. I don't think, and even now, I think it's not 100% fixed.
No, it is. It is. Like, it's very hard to scout nowadays.
Well, to scalp, but I mean, like, as far as like the true chip shortage, because I know they've since then everything's better. Like, you can find a PS5 back in stores. You can find graphics cards. You can find all the latest 4000 series. But as far as it being 100% back, I'm not 100% sure. But it is better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's much better, yeah.
inflation.
Well, yeah, inflation. But
Well, that's not going to keep them from getting them out. I actually saw PS5 in the wild for the first time.
I haven't seen an
Yeah,
Xbox Series X.
I've seen a bunch of S's, not any X's though.
Yeah, I've seen PS5s. I've seen S's. I have not seen an X in the wild.
What's crazy is we're about halfway through the console generation this November, I feel like. And
Yeah. It honestly, no, it's for this generation. It's been weird, especially for, I don't know how they're doing it with the ones or Xbox in general, but for PlayStation, it's super weird because you would look at like they for some reason are giving you not only the PS4 version of the game, but they're giving you the PS5 version of the game. So like for I remember when Tales of what's the last one they just did?
there's two. Oh, what is it? I
There's
know
so
this
many.
one. Tales of fuck.
It's not best. No.
No, not Besteria. That was one before that.
Because I watched you play this one. I know exactly what you're talking
Arise, Tales of Arise. When that came out, that was the first game that I had bought digitally for the PS5. And when I saw that you could download the PS4 and PS5 version, I was like, wait, what? It threw me off because, you know, I would think, oh, if I bought the PS5 version, I'm going to get the PS5. If I bought the PS4, I'm going to get the PS4. No, you got both. And still to this day, when Nick was doing the Street Fighter 6 that just came out, he got both copies. I had to, like, he was going to borrow my PS5. I was like, yeah, that's fine. But then I sat down, I was like, wait a minute. Have you already put it to your account? Because they should have given you a PS4 version. He's like, oh, yeah, they did. Like I said, I don't know how Xbox is doing it. I don't know if they are doing it that way. But that's weird to me that your console, your next-gen console, never really launched. It's not as big as like the PS4 when it came out, or as big as PS3, and it's a bunch of things. COVID, chip shortage, the demand really wasn't there for it. I mean, it's a more expensive console.
And you know that PS4 version of Street Fighter, I mean, yeah, load times aside, and like there was some pop in, but otherwise it played great. Like,
And yeah, I think you're playing. I want to say you have the standard PS4, right? You don't have the Pro.
yep, OG
So you have-
PS4.
Man, you got
If
the
I remember
bitch
correctly, you have a
PS4.
hard drive in there. There's not even an SSD.
Oh man, you a bitch.
You could actually, Nick, if you wanted to, you could pop in an SSD in there, and that would probably make it 10 times faster.
Probably. I'm not gonna. I barely touched the
No,
thing, so
I
I'm not
get
even
it,
gonna
yeah.
worry about it.
But still, to my point, like it's weird. It's super weird that we're 3 years, going on 3 years into these consoles. I don't think there's been like a memorable release for any of them.
Honestly,
Like, there's not like a reason to have them besides maybe God of War. But even then, like, I think you had the PS4 version, right? There was a PS4 version.
I think the biggest thing on PS5, honestly, I think the can't miss PS5 game, if I'm looking at the library right now, is probably Returnal. But even then, that's on Steam now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's baffling. It's such a baffling time in the console, honestly, area. Because everything can be seen on PC now. They're realizing, oh, we're missing potential.
Hey, PC Master Race, just play on PC, guys.
PC Master
PC
Race.
Master Race.
I was
Master Race.
waiting for someone to say something.
You guys are getting
Yeah.
way too comfortable saying PC Master Race. Moving on.
Man, shut
Moving
up.
on. So to end it all off, June 22nd, Microsoft announces the closure of its Mixture stream service on July 22nd, instead of transitioning and partnering with Facebook Gaming.
That was a big fuck you to Facebook, and I appreciate it.
I did too, but at the same time, like, how did you think Mixture was going to go? Like, so correct me if I'm wrong. The only big name that I remember that signed on to Mixture originally,
What, Josh?
Was Ninja.
Josh. What's it called?
I said Mixture, didn't I?
You
You've
did.
been saying Mixture the whole time. I was
meant
like,
Mixer. I don't know why I said Mixture. Okay, I don't know. I didn't.
Mixer was cool though. I remember watching, I think, an E3 on Mixer at one point, and it was fine. It was
I think it was the first year it came out.
It was a cool little thing. They were giving away games on there too, I think.
yeah, I loved its interface. It was so clean, and I've noticed that Twitch took the whole channel point thing from them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was so good. It was such a great idea. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. The only big streamer I can think of that went was Ninja, and he got Buku Dolores, right?
Oh, Buku Dolores. And then on top of that, I'm pretty sure he went back to Twitch. Like the moment they announced that they were closing, he's like, yeah, fuck you guys. I'm going back. It kept the money.
Yeah, they kept the money. Like, it was him and I think it was Shroud. Him and
I'm
Shroud.
sorry. Yeah.
That sounds
so
right.
yeah. So Ninja went to YouTube and then returned to Twitch, while Shroud went back to exclusively to Twitch.
And now they're all leaving Twitch.
It's only a matter of time before something bigger comes.
What I do remember about Ninja's channel while he was on Mixer was that someone, I guess, got a hold of his Twitch account and was just streaming porn.
I remember that. I totally remember that.
Just insane. I was like,
And then
oh,
they end up like banning the whole entire account in general.
yeah,
And he's like, well, why'd you do that?
you can't do that. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, that's the news.
Josh, thanks for doing that news. I appreciate you. Jake, you got a meme for us?
Me?
Time.
Yeah. I got a one meme.
All right.
It's a good one. You know, oh, you got CS:GO taking a test, and you got this guy representing Valorant looking over, and guess what happens? Valorant comes out.
Jake, can you even name what this is like? Who those two people on the left are?
Is that
Well, what was that, Mr. Was that Mr. Bean?
It is Mr. Bean. Okay, I was making sure you knew it was Mr. Bean. That's all.
Yeah, I know my memes.
Your British comedy. You know it.
British.
British? You talking about
Whoa.
British?
What a bottle.
All right. Jake, thank you for that. Hey guys, Steam Next Fest is going on right now. For those who don't know, Steam Next Fest is when a bunch of demos get dumped out onto Steam of upcoming games. I played a handful of them, so you don't have to. I actually, like I said at the top of the show, I think I played up, was it 20? I think I'm at 20 right now. I've got a handful here. I've got my notes right here. I've got videos of each one up. Well, guys, you guys want to look at some Steam Next Fest games?
Yeah, lay it on us.
Yeah, Dad, yeah.
Yeah, Dad, yeah. So this first one is called Dawn Duality. So you are a Mafia Corleone, I guess. And so you're the guy in the little white hat to the right if you're watching the video. And you're basically running your mafia. Upstairs is your kitchen. So you're running it as a proper kitchen. Your gold coins are your money that's been laundered. Your silver coins is your dirty money. The guys at the bottom, you send them out to do jobs. Up top, you're just running your kitchen as normal. If you there are cards that pop up. So here, actually, let me fast forward here. You can hire new members. Like that little red card you see right there means that something bad is going to happen, and you got to try and work your way out of it by either getting a card that takes that card away. If you send your mafia guys out to do too many shady things like steal cars or steal art, it gets the cops on you. And I don't really know what the full objective of like a playthrough is. I've only gotten up to day 8. But yeah, you'll see that avoid random event card right there. We'll take care of that fire inspection. Yep, see how that happens. It was fun. I just didn't know what I was building towards. So I'd be interested to see what a full game looks like. Because I got into it, but I got to a point where I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So that was fun. Okay, so here is probably my favorite, like my favorite or my second favorite of the event so far. This one is called Surmount, and this is a climbing game. This is a 2D platformer climbing game. You climb if you're playing with a controller, your left hand is LB, your right hand is RB, and that's how you're climbing. You're grabbing these different things. You can, like, let's say you're grabbing with your left hand, you spin to jump up higher. And it's got, let me see if I can find them on here. Like, you connect to these little things in the little rope rappel holders. It's so much fun. This game I got really into it. I played this for about an hour. I was only trying to play each one for 10 minutes. I played this for about an hour because I was having so much fun with it.
You know what this kind of reminds me of?
What?
Do you know that game where you're the guy in the bucket?
With the...
Yes.
Yep.
It reminds me of an easier version of that. It's like that meets Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, because I see the stamina like that.
If your guy falls, does he just go splat, like blood everywhere?
I fell a few times, and I don't know if I just wasn't falling from high enough, but I didn't really take any damage. You were just like back to wherever you fell.
Oh, I just wanted to see someone.
So it's probably meets.
blood.
It's like Human Fall Flat.
Kind of.
Nothing really happens.
And it's got like this little Animal Crossing aesthetic.
I would say, yeah, Animal Crossing. I'm seeing like Mii's from Wii.
And the story of it is that no one has climbed this mountain to the top of this mountain that you've gone up to. So like it looks like Animal Crossing, but it's got like this dark side to it because it had like skulls and other like weird imagery of the mountain beforehand. But I
Like a
really
Pokemon. What?
this might be my favorite. My favorite. There are some other ones. There are some contenders in here, but this one was a lot of fun. I don't think there's a date on that one, but I was like, oh, when is this coming out? I need to play it. Here is the next one, because it's called Next Fest. Get it? This one is called The Golden Eyed Ghost. So this one's a little janky. Once you see this, you'd be like, oh, this looks like a Sega Genesis game. This is a Souls-like. I didn't really get a vibe on the story. I wasn't trying to play these demos and get any story out of them. You're running around, swinging the sword at guys. I was getting stuck on a lot of stuff. This does look promising, though. You remember that Sega Genesis game we used to play with the dragons? We talk about it and forget the name every other month.
Sorcerer's Kingdom.
Sorcerer's Kingdom. It gave me those vibes just from the look of it. This one, you might, see, he's stuck on that bridge right there. I don't know. As much as there are things that it needs work on, I was just like, when this is polished and ready to go, this will be awesome. The other thing that concerned me about it is they launched their Kickstarter right as this demo went live, I believe, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, what are you doing? But
No, I could see why they do that. It makes some sense, but at the same time, I agree. It's almost like a slap to the face.
when I think Next Fest, I think something that's coming out this year.
Yes.
So wait a minute. You're telling me you're doing a Kickstarter and this is next? No, come on.
You know what this really reminds me of? Because you keep saying Souls-like or that Sorcerer's Kingdom. It actually gives me more of a Legacy of Goku.
I could see
feeling.
that. I just it was the graininess mixed with like the fantasy setting that kind of gave me that Sega Genesis vibe.
No, I mean I could see that, but I see the rocks and I saw him hit the rock and I'm like, my God, this is Legacy of Goku.
Look at this Legacy of Goku ass shit right here. This is another one. This is one that I played really quick. This is a run-based game called Wonderful. I'm sorry. It's called Wonderful from Tiny Roar's the name of the studio. I wasn't naming those other studios, but that's okay. They'll get their day in the sun. This is a hex game. You're basically in a dark world. You have this lantern that only has so many turns before it goes dark and ends your game. You have to go out and collect those flames and build a city around you. You lay down like farms and fields and stuff that clear out the trees and clear a path for you to go get those flames. It seems like it could be fun. Like I said, I spent only about 10 minutes with it. I don't know. I wanted to see a little more variety at the start of the demo, but we'll see if it branches out. I might go back to this one and give it another try. It's cute. It's also very cute.
Suck out.
Up next is Valley Peaks. This is another climbing game. There are a lot of climbing games. There's also that one that was announced during the Xbox show. I think something like that. That's also got a demo. I haven't played that yet though. So this is Valley Peaks. This is a first-person climber though. And if you look at this, it kind of has the look of, you know, those old CTVs, the big fat TVs where if you got really close to them, everything looked like a line.
Yeah, boob tubes.
That is what this looks like. And it looks really pretty. I have a picture of it that I took in game that I'll send you guys after the show.
Yeah, imagine playing this in VR.
Oh, this would be sick.
This
Oh, playing this in first person, it looks pretty sick right now.
did I mention that you're a frog? You're a frog person?
Frog person, huh?
So I really enjoyed this. This is another one I only played for 10 minutes, but I would go back and do a bunch more. There's a lot of mountain climbing. I think that stems from Zelda. Everyone just saw Breath of the Wild and climbing, and now we're just getting into everyone else like, hey, here's how you do your climbing. Beautiful game. Looks great art style. I'm just curious to see what else there is to do besides just explore. Like, I want to see if there's a story. I want to see if there are other things to do. Who knows? But it looks beautiful. Like, I'm looking at this trailer right now that we're watching together, and I'm just like, God damn, that looks good. So that's also on my list. That's up there for me. Here is another contender. I think it's Valley Peaks, that first climbing game, and Ugly that are probably my top three right now. Ugly is a 2D platformer puzzler. Think like Braid from the mid 2000s, early 2000s. You play this ugly little guy. But the twist is like the main mechanic of the game is this little crystal thing you put down that creates a mirror that you can switch between. So like if you're little like ghost person, your little reflection like goes like can walk in the air and like end up on a platform, then you switch into that platform and then you're the real person on that platform. It's got a cool art style. It's kind of you're in this like haunted looking building. There's this weird little mummy dude. I got stuck on this one, admittedly. I got stuck on a puzzle and needed a break. But this, yeah, even like, oh my, I think they know what they have here with the comparisons to Braid, because there are sections of it where it's like almost a spitting image. There's a room you go into with all these doors that looks like they're going to lead into other worlds. And I was like, this looks like Braid. But I've had a lot of fun
It actually
with
looked
that.
really good. It kind of gave me Braid meets Cuphead almost vibes.
I was getting Cuphead art vibes from it.
Yes.
Because just looking at these screens for it, I was like, this game looks ugly. And then actually playing it and then watching the trailer, it looks great. This is a game. This next one, admittedly, also Ugly. By the way, Ugly is from Team Ugly. Great name, you guys.
Love it.
The next one here, this is called Jelly Express. This is a co-op game from XX Game Studio. I didn't have anyone to play it with, and there's no one when I searched, or no one of my friends who had it. So I played on keyboard and controller because I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
and just
are.
wanted to try it out. You play two little goo boys, and you're just trying to carry stuff around the map together. It's a fun little puzzler. I don't know. I love little co-op puzzlers like this. Like I really liked Blanc at the beginning of the year. I often think about Ilo Milo from the Xbox 360 days. You guys remember Ilo Milo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's little elements of what Goo World or whatever that old iPhone mobile game was from back in the day. Like you want to carry some rainwater, carry a box. You basically just have to move together because you can kind of fuck each other up. I enjoyed it playing it by myself. I'm sure I'd enjoy it more playing it with others, though. Might get one of you fools to download it.
Haha.
Hee hee ha ha ho ho. A quick one here. This is Bilkin's Folly from Webby Soft. This is a pirate Zelda looking game. This has the humor of you guys know what is it called? The Monkey Island games.
Yeah.
It's kind of got those vibes. Like I found there early on, you find a ghost who doesn't realize he's a ghost, and he doesn't realize that he was killed by his friend who stabbed him in the back. He even says like, "Oh, I went out with my friend. He was holding his sword the entire time." And wait a minute, do you think he stabbed me in the back? That was actually
That
was
just
a
looks
short-
like Monkey
short movie.
Island meets Stardew Valley.
Well, basically, you're just right. Well, not so much on Stardew Valley. You're looking for your lost family members.
Well, I mean, as far as like
Oh, art style.
gameplay wise, art style wise, yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what it kind of reminded me of.
That's one I want to dig a little more into. Another one, this is a first person shooter. This is World War II shooter meets like the Cthulhu type stuff. This is a first person barrel shooting ass game. What are they gonna do to this baby? I know I'm gonna call this episode Father and Son Time based off of the earlier discussion, but oh no, where'd the baby go? Oh god.
Literally.
There's the baby. Oh god. Oh god.
Jesus.
The little bit of the demo that I played, you were running around shooting Nazis in a cave. You have these powers. You can activate a shield. You can activate eyes that see like these platforms that no one else can see. It's a hard game. I'm not bad at game. Okay, I'm kind of bad at games, but I was having trouble getting through this cave. So I want to play a little more of it. It feels like a regular first-person shooter. It doesn't feel like anything special, but let me spend a little more time with it, get to one of those boss fights and see what we're dealing with. Because if there's anything I love, it's a good World War II shooter where you're killing Nazis. And
Yes.
I do love some good Cthulhu stuff, so we'll see. Oh, this one's from Evil Guinea Pig. Let's see, we got a few more here. Two more. Crime O'Clock is a puzzle game. It's kind of what would you call it? Like a find and seek book page type thing. Who is this from? This is from Bad Seed. Great developer name. You basically have this big map. You're traveling back in time, trying to stop this crime from happening. You go through. So like you'll have this image, and you have like 8 ticks of it, with a tick being like a moment on that map. So like, let's say you're on tick 7 and someone is on a diving board, and then you go to tick 8, someone's no longer on a diving board, or tick 6, a window's broken. But if you go back to tick 4, it's not. So like there's a tick between those two where it gets broken. And you're just trying to solve crime, stop them from happening. There's a little bit of some demon play here. There's a little bit of like, you guys remember the movie Minority Report from back in the day?
Yep.
A little bit of that. A lot of your little AI buddy talking to you. I hope that's just from the demo and not the actual game. But there was one mystery I solved where a ex-band member murdered the lead band member by shooting a crossbow across the stage, cutting a wire, and dropping something on him on the stage. And so basically you're like tracking his movements through that day, finding him, seeing where he's hiding, and then seeing what causes the crime so you can report the crime before it happens to the cops in the past. It's weird. It's a weird game. All the characters are animal type looking characters. I believe I've seen some humanoid. I don't know. I've not. There's a lot of furry games, guys. There's a lot of furry games in Next Fest right now
Are
that
you-
I've seen.
Why not?
Are you a dog in this game? I'm guessing.
No, I don't think
no
you're a person
crime.
at all. You're just an eyeball, and you're watching. A lot of furry games. There are a few that people have recommended on sites, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna play that. There's like one about like furry high school or something, and I was just like, yeah, that's not for me. This is where
sounds
I
like
do.
a cup of
Could you
tea.
send a link for our viewers?
Yes, I will put a link for our viewers to the furry high school game. One more demo here. This one is called Ludo. This is a first-person horror game, as some people like to call them walking simulators these days. This one I was actually playing with you guys a little bit, not with you, but having you guys watch me play a little bit. You are in this house, you get a call about someone being worried about you, and then after you answer the call, you end up in this just a mirror image of your house, but with chains everywhere. There's a person in a sheet, which is it's very scary. This person, I assume, chases you. I didn't get far enough to where they were chasing you through the house. Yep, here it is right here. Yep, he gets up and starts chasing you. It's scary. It's very scary because this game looks gorgeous. Like the movement of the sheets. Could you imagine playing this in VR, guys?
I mean, if you gotta move slow like that, yeah, it'd be. Oh, so he's gonna get you anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna get you no matter. I ran into him. I was just like, get it over with. I kind of want to fast forward and see a little more because we got stuck. Oh, yep, there he's just sitting there. Yep. I enjoyed this. I wanted to see a little more. There is another horror game on here that I want to try out. It was giving me. What were they? It was giving me Silent Hill vibes, and I think I've seen other people write about it. What was it called? Let me find it real quick. Stray Souls. It's a third-person horror game. I'm gonna have to check that out. Oh, he's sitting up now. That's terrifying. I'm probably gonna go back and play this demo once we get off of here. I know Josh is gonna go play Final Fantasy.
Yes, I am. It's already out. I want to play it.
He's already out. Oh yeah, I guess it is midnight on the East Coast. Hey everybody, we made it through the show. We are halfway through 2020, which means we are getting closer and closer to being caught up, which means we're going to have special episodes covering games, doing deep dives in the game. So that'll be coming up. We've also still got our game of the year so far, #GOTYSO, coming up the first week of July. Be ready for that. 13 categories. We've got some contenders coming up from the first half of the year and part of December. Yep, we're going to have those December games in there because they didn't. Holy shit. Sorry, I've still got Ludo going on over here. You can find me, Nick, on Twitter at @ThatKaufman. You can also find me on Twitch and YouTube at NickFatKnight. Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me anywhere at I'm Josh Saying.
Jake, where can the people find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at Jakey Boy Kaufman, where I will be playing TFT.
TFT. Also, check out, Josh and I do some reviews for Game Chronicles. Go check those out. My Street Fighter 6 review is up. I'll have the last spell up, hopefully by the time you're hearing this on Monday. Josh, you have some reviews coming up, don't you?
Yeah, I've got Voodolls and Midnight.
All right, so be ready for those. Josh will get those links when those are ready. Just let me know.
Yeah, I think it should be about this weekend, hopefully.
Yep. As always, everybody, we're a Trident Network podcast. Go check out our siblings. They are awesome. Listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Tell a friend. Remember, fuck the algorithm. Tell a friend. Thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt Him Down. We have a link to Alex's SoundCloud in the show notes. Go check it out. He's got some awesome stuff over there. Guys, this has been Smashing Game Time. We hope everybody had a smashing grape time. We'll see each and every one of you next time. Final Fantasy.